welcome to episode 3 of this season 2. As we mentioned in the last episode, we're going to be chatting to Scott from Giro Di Lento today, pretty much going over a full rundown of the Pilgrims Disc. He'd come into the office to pick up a test bike. Pretty straightforward, one subject, full run through, so let's get straight into it.
Yeah, just after testing it. Yeah, the stainless stuff's going through now is a bit of testing.
Hi.
Hi.
How should we refer to you, Scott? Scott from Giro Di Lento.
Yeah,
Scott.
that's fine.
Yeah. Basically, we got Scott from. How do you describe Giro Di Lento as your blog?
Well, it's a road cycling blog.
Yeah.
It's been around since 2010, so lots of product reviews, bit of riding, bit of kind of general commentary. Doesn't follow the herd of following the news cycle. Try to write about things that are interesting.
So yeah, that's Scott. We'll put a link, description up there, that sort of thing. But Scott's come to see Pilgrims Disc.
I have come to see the Pilgrims Disc. It's a bike I'm quite excited about.
And you rode the original Pilgrims, right?
No, I
2
rode
years
the
ago.
original Palace.
Did you not take a Pilgrims as well?
No, I
Did you not?
didn't. No, original Palace, right back at the beginning.
Oh well. He's ridden. You have experience of Bowman, but
I do, yeah.
we're going to chat about that, have some coffee, and we'll come back in a while.
That's cool.
So, yeah, we finished talking about this stuff. Scott was just asking about what tyre clearance and things we've got in this. So, this has 30C Schwalbers on. So, as you can see, there's quite a bit of room around a 30C tyre there.
Yep.
Similar at the fork crown. You kind of look in there, you've got plenty of room around a 30. We were running this with 30C. These 30C tyres and full width Schwalbe mudguard 30C tyre. Yeah. I mean, you can run those in muddy weather.
Yep.
And they don't go all day.
Yep.
Yeah, they do fit. That is a 45mm wide.
Yep.
Chromoplastic. So theoretically, on a 30C tyre, you should only need to run a 35 anyway, which gives you more room. Threaded. Threaded bottom bracket.
Yeah, we like that. That's very good.
Yeah. So we've got all that.
Yep.
All the frames they're coming with mounts for obviously 140 as standard.
Well, yeah.
140, but
why have you
they're
chosen 140 as a standard?
because you can fit a 140 on, and light people can get away with 140s. Shimano recommend 140s. SRAM recommend 160.
Yeah.
All frame flat mount standards are based on a 140 rotor.
Okay.
And to run a 160 rotor on a 140 standard, you just need a tiny little adapter. That's what converts from 140 to 160.
Yep.
If you use a 140 rotor on this,
Yep,
you just remove that chamfered block, and they just
Understood.
bolt straight onto the frame. So on the rear you have that extra like 35 gram mount, and on the front all you do is just reverse the direction, and that angle there changes.
Yep.
And it brings the rotor closer.
Are you seeing any kind of preference from customers?
People who are doing sort of a mixed road and off-road often go bigger.
Yeah, I like
Some of the smaller guys are
160s.
running 140s. People who are doing loaded stuff, 160s.
Yeah, that makes
Some
sense.
people do 140 rear, 160 front.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff, a lot of choices, and
And there's a lot of flexibility when
Yeah.
you can run either, so that's
yeah,
nice
I mean,
too.
because you can run either. There's no point not offering both.
Sure.
No, that's true.
And to that kind of running either end, the frames are supplied with both Allen key and
Yes.
quick release
Yep.
through axles
Yep.
in the box. The frame is the same tube set at the front end as the Palace.
Yep.
The same kind of stainless steel bearing token headset.
Yep.
And then the rear end is obviously a different rear end because it's disc brake ready rather than.
And what about
Anything
the seat tube? Because that's kind of the similar shaping that you've.
Yeah, it's exactly the same seat tube. 27.2 post.
Yep. Yep.
We were kind of after.
Downtube's got to be different, right, for the cable routing, or
Yeah, yeah, it's got to be slightly thicker wall, a longer butt length and a slightly thicker wall at that end
Yep.
to take the holes for the
Exactly. Yep.
for the cable routing.
Yep.
Same top tube. It does exactly the same job either way.
Yep. Just a bit shorter. Is it?
Tiny,
Tiny bit shorter.
three
a
or
few
4 mil.
millimetres shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 or 4 mil shorter.
part of the endurance geometry.
Yeah. As Scott pointed out, Pilgrims Disc endurance geometry, Palace performance geometry.
Very good.
So, rather than having a long head tube, which you would normally have on that, what we've done is we've put 5mm extra on the head tube.
Yep.
And the bottom bracket is 5mm lower.
Yeah, which
So-
gives you nicer stability benefit as well.
Yeah, of course.
And it means you can get extra height.
Without the bike feeling really
Yeah.
high.
And looking really high.
So yeah, compared to a 56 Palace versus a 56 Pilgrims Disc, you'd have 10mm higher stack. 10mm larger number on stack, but it's 10mm higher than for a given spacer setup. One of the differences that will make a big difference in terms of ride quality, the external diameter of the seat tube is 2mm smaller because the walls are so much thinner on
the
this seat
Palace,
post compared to the original.
Oh sure, right, yeah.
And
Well,
that's
it's a completely different tube set.
yeah, it's a completely different tube set, but kind of one of those refinements that we learnt with the Palace with the thinner wall tube sets, giving a less of the direct jarring loads into the
Yeah.
posterior, is one of the things that's kind of crossed directly over onto the Pilgrims Disc. Quick go over of the official tyre clearance line. 30C tyres with room is the kind of the official line,
Which we can see. on
which
this.
is kind of proven by the imagery. There's not a 32C road tyre that we've tried that hasn't fitted.
I've got those tyres.
Some knobbly 32C gravelly tyres, Challenge particularly, are wide,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure whether they fit, but they're a knobbly tyre. We've tried, but when it comes to knobbly tyres, we've put 33C Maxxis cross tyres in there, and they fit.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's what Marta's got on the black one she's taken to grind Giro, but a 33C Challenge PDX doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So they're, oh sorry, no, it was a Clement MXP that didn't fit, but that came up at 37mm wide and 36.5mm tall. It's the height that's always been the problem, and that kind of leads on to like, do 650B tyres fit? Run those on a more normal modern wide rim, and you can fit 37-38C on there because the actual height of
On this
those,
frame.
yeah, the actual height of that wheel with
Yeah.
the tyre on is the same as a 23 or a 25.
Yes.
So it's not the width that's the problem, it's the height
Yeah.
when it comes to 650B. And that's the sort of thing that if you're running like super laden or you want absolute comfort long for that sort of stuff, then that's where this might come in. It's not like a
Surprising flexibility. You don't really
Yeah.
expect that on a road bike. To
Yeah.
be honest. You
I mean,
expect that
that's-
on a gravel bike, which
yeah,
this isn't.
it's kind of its versatility range kind of goes from like there to there, whereas a gravel bike might go from there
Yeah.
to there. It's very versatile, but I wanted a road bike because, as we've discussed many times before, this is what all road bikes will be in the future.
Yeah, this is definitely the way it's going.
You've seen all the pictures of Mallorca and other things where we've run 25Cs and 23s, and
Yeah.
like proper racy cyclists been doing it, and we've done training rides there, we've done training camp stuff, long distance rides, that sort of stuff. The full SKS mudguards on 30s. The other thing is people have asked us, can you fit a rack? Obviously the proper mudguard fittings at the dropout mean you can fit a 4-point rack down here, and then you could run the rack and the mudguards outboard of a rack in terms of support. But obviously there's a fitting here for a mudguard here, so you could run something like Tubus. Tubus make a really nice 3-point rack, and we have fitted that on both this and one of the Lamb's discs originally. But if you want a 4-point rack, we've tested with like 4-point rack adapters here, because if you start putting additional welding and inserts here, you just have to have such a thick seat stay. So this is 56cm frame, scales are tared, double check. So this has all the cable adapters. It's actually got some disc brake hose clips as well. 1460. So when you're looking at a 56cm Palace at about 1180 to 1200.
Okay, so it's
250, which for a endurance all-round disc road bike, it's for £800.
pretty respectable.
You know, disc forks heavier, different layup, braking, obviously.
But still a
actual
full
drop
carbon monocoque fork.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, still full carbon toe.
But yeah.
Has aluminium insert for the thread, obviously,
Yeah.
for the through axle,
Yep.
and aluminium inserts for the flat mounts.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's got an internal carbon tube for the cable routing, rather than just a hole there and a hole there, and then you have to fish through. But
Okay.
Palace forks like 360, 370, so this should be
30.
so 50 or 60 grams more than a Palace R fork.
Yeah.
For a fork with mudguard
So
mounts.
just over 300 grams extra
Yeah.
weight to go from caliper brake to disc.
Yeah, and obviously room for a lot more tyre,
Yeah.
a lot more versatility.
Yeah.
Probably between 17 and 1800 chassis combination weight, I guess. Is that maths about right?
Yeah, and it was
18
also,
or
you know, if you were looking at a steel framed endurance disc frame, you're probably looking at 1.8, 1.9 kilos just for the frame.
Do you mean like a Lamb's disc,
Well, yeah, maybe,
stainless
yeah.
steel,
Yes.
500 grams more
Yeah.
for the frame?
So,
And this is a pretty light stainless steel frame.
yeah,
So,
so that's one of the advantages of sticking with alloy.
yeah.
Is that, you know, you're getting that half a kilo kind of
Yeah. Obviously,
bonus on weight.
Yeah, bonus on weight, different ride quality.
different ride quality and different ride feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what you're going to be getting. What we're going to do now is Scott's going to take this build home for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And when can the readers expect something on the vlog to...
By the end of July, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, by the end of July, for sure, there'll be a story on the blog with what it's like to ride.
Great. And obviously we'll be shouting about that, because... Should we have a guess, or should we just leave it till then? We'll leave it till next time.
I think the surprise is good, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We'll do that then.
Okay.
There we go. So, yeah, Scott's gone. Episode's over. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Next week we're back to a few more things. We'll probably try and have a chat to Marta. Might have a chat to somebody else. Quite a few potential interesting things to go over next week. But until then, thanks for watching. If you do like the video, do give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody that you think might be interested in this sort of stuff. Anyone who might be interested in Pilgrims, just the idea of it really, you know, the more people that ride this sort of bike, the more popular this sort of bike becomes and the more fun we all have. So see you in the next episode. Cheers.